Game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To me, to mean that much to you. Happy birthday, Neil. Canadian born and brute. Labatt's 50, Molson Golden, Moosehead, Buffalo Springfield with Stephen Stills, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, which, by the way, still not in the Hall of Fame if you add Young. And, of course, I think his best work ever with Crazy Horse, Neil Young. Some down here in the South don't appreciate him, including Jacksonville's own Leonard Skinnard. Although I guess they kissed and did make up. An incredible life, an incredible artist, an incredible, I don't know. Some of his other stuff is a little off the wall. And if you don't know, he's actually married to Daryl Hannah. Okay, that must be an interesting conversation. She at one point was a prize, but don't know about you, but I kind of have a feeling she could make your ears bleed. Anyway, tonight it's all about Neil Young. Happy birthday, number 80, Neil. And I'm not going to go, Megyn Kelly on you and tell him to just, keep playing and don't talk. But boy, Neil, you're so much better when you leave your politics the hell out of the way. Just play your music, man. You're a legend. You're one of my all-time favorites. Happy birthday, Neil Young. So we'll play some of that over the next couple of hours, and then we'll move a little bit closer to Jaguars-Chargers football. I mean, this is what it's all about. LA's won 3 in a row. Can they come down here to these parts, and win a 4th consecutive football game? We're seeing line movement. It's gone to 3 in a lot of circles, which is huge. If I was a Jaguars fan, and you are, if you're going to play this game, I'd wait. I would. I think all the money is going to be coming in on Los Angeles. We'll check in with the Philly Godfather tomorrow night, and as well as Rafael Esparza later in the week to get the very latest as what is happening as far as the money, the sharp money, the wise guys' money, which is always most important. And my advice to you is always bet against the public, right? I mean, most who bet lose. They won't admit it, but isn't that the truth, really? I mean, I've been out of the game for a decade. I don't know what the heck's going on. The last time I bet Neil Young was 70. Okay? I mean, he's 80. I don't know, but I mean, how many of your friends, how many of your associates, how many of your acquaintances actually win gambling? I mean, you can count them on just, 1 or 2 fingers. It's amazing to me, but it's an addiction. All right? I have an addiction. My latest one is buying baseball cards late at night, getting a few cocktails in me, going on Whatnot, buying this, buying that, grinding out auctions. I'm not hurting anyone except for my pocketbook, but again, I'm saving cash because I'm not gambling. If you are, we're here to support you. We're always here to try to advise you on what to do. It's just our picks. It's just our observation. Typically, we hear from you when we are wrong. We never hear from you when we're right, and we're fine with that. This is Into the Night. I'm Rick Ballou alongside Dylan Denmark. I'll buy your lunch for the rest of the month if you can name 3 songs by Neil Young.
Old Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Oh, you were rolling. You had me scared, man. You did. I'm like, oh, look at this. Look at Dylan Denmark. 2-time Hall of Famer. You should be like Eric Clapton. He should be in for a 3rd time. He should be in with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But anyway, Derek and Susan made their way out to Cleveland. Joe Cocker finally, Joe Cocker's been gone for a really long period of time. And Tedeschi Trucks was there to induct Joe Cocker into the Hall of Fame. I don't think they rerun this. They got to edit and edit it and do all that type of stuff. So whenever they come forward with it, we'll let you know. But he sent me a nice little picture of himself and his wife, Susan Tedeschi, with Elton John, which was absolutely really, really cool. And then he's getting back with Joe Walsh to do something in Wichita, Kansas, to benefit those in the military. And that is outstanding. Congratulations to him and Joe Walsh. That is just sensational. Of course, we're on the heels of yesterday, where so many people here did celebrate Veterans Day. I come from a military family. My dad was in the Army. My granddad on my mom's side was in the Navy. I got a couple of cousins who are in the Marines, so kind of well-rounded by the likes of Keene, New Hampshire, and Concord, Massachusetts. All right, Brenton Strange, the window has begun. And you know what drives me absolutely nuts? The West Coast, because we can't get freaking injury reports while I'm on the radio. This is amazing to me. Let me check again. Let me check. They just don't come in. It seems like every week, they're in London, which I guess is in the West Coast now, or they're all across the country, and because of the time change and this and that, you never get these injury reports. Again, it's not because I'm an aggressive gambler. I'm just trying to figure out who the hell's playing this weekend. Is Brenton Strange going to get out there? Reports did say that Brian Thomas Jr. was at the Miller Electric Center today. In what capacity? Let me check my phone again. I don't know. No one knows. Was he full? Was he limited? How's the ankle? Is he going to be able to play? That's huge. That is absolutely enormous. What can you get offensively this week from Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr., Ezra Cleveland? 3 colossal question marks. And if you can get 1 back, that's a good thing. If you can get 2 back, that is an outstanding thing. If you can get all 3, then that is freaking phenomenal. But we don't know where they're going to be. I mean, Diami Brown came back. He was basically a nothing a week ago. You're going to get anything more out of Diami Brown? I remember the tweet we got last week, and it was a facetious Jaguars fan who said, "Oh, this is great. Diami Brown is back. We can count on his 2 receptions for 15 yards." He didn't even give you that. Okay? I mean, he didn't even do that for you. And it's like, man, Ballou, don't you understand this game of football? You came in here every single night saying, "Oh, man, just get the ball to Brown. Oh, man, just get the ball to Travis Hunter. Oh, man, just get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. Those 3 can score from anywhere on the football field. Just find a way to get them the ball." What do they have? Combined 3 touchdowns in 9 games? One season is over. The other 2 are definitely in question and have been, subpar at best. So Jacksonville leads the NFL with 31 drop passes. And that is one of the many things that has to change if this football team is going to win this game. All right, there's so much to look at tonight. Offensively, defensively. I was really concerned about special teams. The kick coverage has been really poor this year. However, an enormous forced fumble by Ventrell Miller last week. Danny Strigo with the fumble recovery. An incredible return by Parker Washington. Certainly Cam Little has snapped out of his slump. And you can share your opinion. We love that around here. But I was sitting in the press box in Houston when Lawrence completed that ball to Washington, and until the laundry hit the carpet and we got the hands to the face on Chuma Edoga, I was absolutely, totally convinced. It was like putting Larry Bird on the free throw line. I mean, there was just no way around it. Cam Little was going to make that field goal. He's back in the zone. And if you watched him in practice, what this guy was doing, 70-plus yards indoors in Houston. We didn't get that opportunity because, again, that was the 9th penalty of the game. And Chuma Edoga, man, 17 snaps. A lot of that in this jumbo package, man. He allowed a sack and had 2 penalties. He was really upset about that. I'll give him credit. At least he showed some emotion. Sometimes guys just, they don't care. They put in their 60 minutes, and that's it. Say hi to the guys, shake them, pat them on the backside, stick a tongue in their ear, say, oh, man, it was so hard playing with you today. The fans are despondent. The fans are beside themselves. But the NFL players, they'll just do their thing and then head on out. Quite a few Jaguars as well were long gone before the media, before us vultures made our way in. They were gone, which I do have an issue with. I think there should be more accountability. I know Ryan O'Halloran talked about that a little bit earlier today on Duval Rundown. I tend to agree with him. If you're the 48th, 49th, 50th guy on the roster and you decide to skip okay, but when you're a leader, when you're among the highest paid guys in the league and you don't show up for a football game, you certainly don't show out, at least answer the bell. At least do your job and stick around for a little bit and do some Q&A. That's the way I've always looked at this thing. Then again, a year ago when I got with Josh Hines Allen in Philadelphia, he started taking me down the road as if it was Pop Warner football. Remember that? I couldn't believe it. He's like, oh, yeah. I just want to, even though we lost today, it was a great game. Both teams played hard. I'm like, really? In the NFL? That counts for something? I mean, this league is simple. You are measured by wins and you are measured by losses. That's it. There's nothing else. Okay? If you want to crown them, like I've heard, oh, look at this Florida State team, man. They're a great basketball team. You still freaking lost the game. I mean, whatever. It's like moral victories and, again, send them a trophy. I mean, it's simple, people. You win or you lose. When did we become, oh, but the effort, forget about it, okay? You're asked to win games. You're being paid a lot of money to win games, and that includes in college now, all the time. I don't understand this mentality of it is such a softness that has come in with many fans and, unfortunately, a lot of people in the media that are so incredibly passive, that are so quick, of course the effort was there. The effort should be in everything that you do, including what I'm doing right now and including what you've been doing all morning and afternoon and into the night. Have some respect for your professionalism. Have some respect for what you do personally. Okay? I don't get a trophy for showing up to work every day. Stop doing that to these incredibly overpaid, underperforming athletes. It's just insane to me. When did this all change? Love to hear you. I did. I've always said I think it's my fault. I think it's parents' fault, our age, because we let our kids go from school to school and job to job. Mommy, Daddy, the service manager looked at me wrong. I've already been there for 10 days, and he said I was doing something wrong. I want to quit. And we're like, oh, us divorced parents are like, sure, go quit. You want to keep them happy, right? No one stays married anymore. So you lean toward, you get your kids every other Wednesday and every other, it's so great to be a divorced dad here in Florida. What, are you going to discipline your daughters when they say, I don't want to be here anymore? No, we're too easy. Oh, yeah. But somehow that turned into the sports that we love. Why? It's nuts to me. It's absolutely nuts. Hold them to a higher standard. And you hold Trevor Lawrence to a high standard. You hold Josh Hines Allen to a tougher standard. What about the others, college and pro? Why is it isolated to just a couple of people? Why isn't it everyone? I'm just asking here. I am. All right, we got a lot to do tonight. I am fired up and I'm ready to go. There's no question about it. Jacksonville has to win this game. If not, I can't even believe what this situation is be like before they go back out to to Nashville, and then you got a trip to the desert. I know you're playing inferior teams and inferior quarterbacks, but that doesn't seem to be a measuring point with this football team. I mean, I went all last week telling you Jackson was going to win this game. How can you bet against Trevor Lawrence if it's Davis Mills? And look what happened. I mean, look what happened. I'm frightened right now to actually make a pick on this football game. All right, thank you to Shmunez Vision. Thank you to them. Thankfully, the best part of what I have going for me is my eyesight, and it's 2020. And if you do not have a similar situation, then it's up to you to make that change. Just go to Shmunez Vision. Whether it's a like, whether it is a want, or whether it is a need, they have got you taken care of. 37 years worth of experience when it comes to surgery. Dr. Neo Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt, okay? 37 years. They'll answer all your questions. They will take you through the examination, and they will also be the ones who go through surgery with you. That's nice to know. Unlike others out there, they are going to answer your question. Shmunez Vision online, or go to Instagram and get all the testimonials as well at Shmunez Vision. All right, a lot happening here in town. To say that this is an enormous game on Sunday would be an incredible understatement. Everything on the line for the Jaguars Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Get in the huddle with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who was having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Friday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL's Gator Bites podcast wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Did you know that individuals over age 60 have great results on Awaken 180? See how you could drop weight and get off your medications in just 3 months with Awaken 180's Golden Program. Visit Awaken180weightloss.com.
With the sun setting earlier, Hidden Hills Golf Club has expanded our twilight specials, so you can take advantage of our afternoon rates and get your round in before dark. Book today at hiddenhillsgc.com and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Parker Washington was special for Jacksonville on Sunday. The teal and black wideout recorded 33 yards and a touchdown on 3 receptions and would include a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. Although the game was full of stress, nevertheless, Parker was producing, and he's your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through November 13th. Financing available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To some, Neil Young's an acquired taste. Some just despise him. I don't know. I don't get it, but that's your opinion, and it's allowed. Happy birthday, Neil. 80 years of age. Feel free to come back here to the great state of Florida. You haven't been here in forever. Man, I don't think I've seen Neil Young in concert since like 1987, 1988. Somewhere in that particular time. What's your favorite thing from Canada? Our good friends.
Man, I have no idea. I've never thought, like I've only traveled a couple times.
Our
in the
51st state.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know why. I mean, like, Toronto would be the only place I know of in Canada. Like, I hear it's cool, but like, I don't know what to do there.
I think, you know what? I guess Montreal, right across Niagara Falls and those parts, if I was a lot younger, I guess what I'm told is they had, back in the day, phenomenal sin bins. And, whenever the Jaguars were in Detroit and I traveled, I'd sneak over to Windsor, and that was kind of cool. Right when you cross the line there, it can get a little daunting. But, hockey. They give us hockey, for crying out loud. The great sport of hockey. You know what else is great about Canada? Beer. It's got more alcohol per 12 ounces than you get here in the States, and that includes Budweiser if you don't want to drink Canadian brewed beer. Neil Young, Rush, two of my favorite, bands. Certainly the three-man band Rush and Neil Young with all of his work. The Guess Who as well. And then finally, Bobby Orr, my absolute idol growing up. I've had many times to interview Bobby Orr. I don't ever want to interview Bobby Orr. He's like the only player that I just never want to meet. I don't ever want to talk to him because I feel like I'm 4 years old when you mention Bobby Orr. He's the only player that has that effect on me because when my parents used to make me eat green beans by calling them Bobby Orr green beans.
I was going to think you were going to mention Justin Bieber with the Canadian artist.
No.
I guess he didn't make the list.
You know what happened when I was 4 and I didn't eat the Bobby Orr green beans? You know what my mom and dad did?
What's that?
They gave me a trophy anyway. And they said, hell no.
They were ahead of the curve.
Do you think I would get dessert if I didn't eat my veggies growing up? When did we become so freaking soft? This is unbelievable. And I get that you can be that way to loved ones, but to be that way to teams? And I'm not really saying Jacksonville here. This is more of a Florida State bellyache. I mean, I can't tell you how many people told me, oh, the Noles looked great last night. They freaking lost. I mean, when do we give credit around here for teams that lose? And I get that Florida just won a national title. I get it. But come to me if they win. You know, if they found a way to win. They didn't. They found a way to lose. It's just maddening. All right, tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. We're going to get there in just one moment. Rick Alexander, a good friend, and if you are injured, he is absolutely your one stop. I'm going to tell you all about him in just a few. But I want to get to Liam Cohen, who did meet with the media a little bit earlier today. You know, his first 3 or so answers were about Travis Hunter. As we know, he is lost for the remainder of the season. This is probably the comment that tells you most about where the Jaguars are now with this situation.
All that's very premature to answer at this point. You know, you have a lot of confidence in the makeup, the person, the competitor, the athlete, the talent. Like I said to him, so many players have gone through minor setbacks for major comebacks. And that's been the complete message to him.
It's very disappointing to me that there are major mouthpieces across the country that are going to be so incredibly vocal about this. And most are going to say Travis Hunter can no longer play both ways. This is a failed experiment. What they will not do is look at the facts. And the facts are he was injured during a practice. He was injured during a non-contact situation during a practice. The only way that you can possibly give any of that credence is if it came out, well, he was practicing a lot more than others out there. Does he practice more? Sure. Does he practice a lot more? I don't believe that. I went to I don't miss. My favorite time of the year is training camp. It is, because it's not measured with wins and losses. You don't roll in here on a Monday all frustrated because you blew a 19-point lead. During camp, everything is about what you see and what you think is going to happen. They rested him. They rested him during camp. So I don't believe that. But again, you're going to get these people who know nothing about Jacksonville, who know nothing about this football team, who popped off about Travis Hunter saying this is a mistake by this franchise. They're the same people that are going to tell you, Jaguars fans, the days of Travis Hunter playing both ways are over. And they don't know what they are talking about. Okay? Now, if you want to tell the truth and then express yourself that you don't think it makes sense for him to go both ways, then that's fine. That's your opinion. No one's opinion is wrong. But when you take something that is not true and you make it a fact, start listening to these people. Whether they're in L.A. or Bristol or anywhere else, New York, they're going to say, well, he couldn't deal with the wear and tear of the NFL. That's not what happened. It's a non-contact deal. Did Travis Etienne, could he not deal with the contact of the NFL when he went down with a preseason injury 5 years ago? Did Dante Fowler, when he went down during a rookie minicamp, when we were broadcasting at the Players' Championship, back when it was here in May, not in March, these things happen. But it's not going to fit into what they believe. So you're going to be pegged with that. And you can handle it any way you want. I'm not trying to make up a mind for you, okay? No one's more interactive with Jaguar listeners than we are on Into the Night. If your opinion is that he should be a one-way player only, that's fine. You are absolutely entitled to that opinion. But just don't make the mistake of saying, oh, he couldn't deal with the grind of the NFL. Oh, he couldn't take the punishment in the NFL. That's not true. That is absolutely, positively not true. And I want you to understand the difference. To me, it's important. It really is. You know, bottom line, he's out. Bottom line, those who said it wouldn't work, they're right. They are right. I can't argue that point. There are people that have an agenda. They want to see him fail. There's a lot of proud former NFL players who are now broadcasters who are really set back by this. They don't always say it publicly. They certainly do a lot more privately, off the record. Who does this guy think he is? He can come into this particular league and be the first guy ever to go both ways at this pace. And they said, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Well, guess what? Right now, they're right. But it was also a freak injury at the Miller Electric Center during a non-contact situation. That is a fact. So it has no bearing on me. I want to see how they play it out. I want to see if he can put on some weight, particularly in the lower body. My biggest concern is this when it comes to Travis Hunter, is playing both ways, you're going to get a slightly above average player on both sides of the football. Would it be more beneficial to put him on one side of the ball where he can become, hopefully, a star? And if that's where they believe he can go, then I think that's the move that they should make. But right now, you don't have any idea. So you know what it's like. There's some good members of the national media. We have them here on our radio station, but you're also going to get a lot of hot air. And you're going to get people that are going to look at this, and it's going to support what they said, so they're going to yell the loudest. And very few are going to defend it. Very few are going to do what I just did and say, look at what really happened here. Tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. And, man, if you have been hurt, okay, you may be up against it right now. You may be all alone. You may be thinking, man, what's going on here? My car's totaled. I was personally injured. I got a broken arm. I can't afford medical bills. I can't get to work. What am I supposed to do? Well, you call the Alexander Law Practice. What they're going to do is immediately call you back and then bring you in for a free consultation, $400, $6,600. Then you begin to tell Rick Alexander everything that happened to you, okay? You were blindsided. Most of these accidents happen when you're the victim. Someone's on their cell phone. Someone's in the other lane. Someone blew a red light, and you were the victim, okay? You're never going to come out of pocket. Rick Alexander and everyone at the Alexander Law Practice, they may have your car fixed in a week. They may have your medical bills taken care of. They may have you back at work sooner than you were expected, and you'll never come out of pocket. You will never have to pay a dime. That's the beauty. Everything will be settled at the very end when it's a prosperous situation for you once the case is resolved. You need the personal care, and the best way to do that is to go to alexanderlawpractice.com or check them out online. Check them out with a phone call as well with a free consultation at $466,600. All right, we got much more to do. John Osher at 7. We'll get the latest on the Jaguars from him then. My buddy John Dever said that the injury report was coming out at around 6:30. It's 6:33 right now. So, do you realize that when we come back from this break, Dylan, I could have an injury report?
This might be the best thing ever.
What am I going to complain about if I have an injury report? What am I going to do? It's Neil Young's birthday, ladies and gentlemen. He's 80 years of age.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The mix of salty sea air and burnt rubber. The big skies, high banks, and grandstands. The rumble in your chest. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. Honoring history and making it. At the biggest race of the year on the biggest stage of a lifetime. The Daytona 500. You gotta see it to believe it. February 15th, 2026. Secure your experience now at DayTona500.com.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Jarian Jones was sensational over the weekend for the Teal and Black. The Jacksonville cornerback had 4 tackles versus Houston, as well as 2 passes defended, and pitched in an interception on what was an incredible day. Performances like this should give 22 more time on the field, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Yo, 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 it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before the holidays and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. 18-month financing is available. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan from Checkmate Coatings. Our precision coatings make your floors the MVP of any space.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And then Neil on guitar. Go. I can see where I'm going to be again tonight. Especially with the GF laboring after surgery. I just make my way upstairs. Lately, it's been the oven upstairs. Staring at the stars, buying baseball cards. I mean, is it a midlife crisis? I don't know, but tonight is going to include Neil Young. Here's the guitar. Sorry about that. Go get him, Neil. If you don't like Neil Young, that's on you. All right. Let's see here. Injury report coming soon. Still don't have it. West Coast deal, NFL deal. You know, I get it. They're 3 hours behind. No one's traveled more than L.A. I was reading about that earlier today, and I wonder if that is a factor. I do not know. Do you realize the Chargers in the first 5 games of the year, when they were relatively healthy, especially on the offensive side of the football, they averaged 19.6 a game in the first 5. The last 5, they're averaging 28.4. Okay? You look at them, they are a complete football team with one major Achilles heel. They are not good against the run. The flip side of this for Jacksonville, last 5 games, remember the first 3 games of the year, Jacksonville was the leading rushing offense in the NFL. They also were the leading average per carry in the NFL. Well, that's changed over the last 5 weeks, all right? They're averaging 3.8 yards now a carry and just over 101 yards a game. I feel like this is the 3rd consecutive week that I have said it, and I really do mean it. That is, if Jacksonville's going to win this football game, they're going to have to be able to run it. And guess what? They ran it for 30 minutes. What was it? 9 carries, 44 yards in the first half of play. We looked this up for Travis Etienne. And then they just couldn't get things rolling in the second half. They had absolutely no rushing attack there. And we know what happens when you're able to run the football. It changes everything, including keeping your defense on the sideline. Let's see. Yeah, Etienne was 9 for 44, an average of 4.9, and it was a solid average. He had a long of 13, so that means it was basically the same, right around the same average per for the other 8 carries, which is promising. It just got away from them in the second half. So, that to me is where this game is. Listening to Cohen today, listening to Trevor Lawrence today talk about this game, and the number one issue being getting over 2 really big blows, okay? Blowing that lead, and then finding out that Travis Hunter is no longer here. Now, for all we know, they may have already known. Okay? I mean, some people yesterday were like, well, I'm not surprised. I was surprised. I thought he was coming back. I'm not afraid to admit when I am wrong. Okay? The national information guys told us that it's not season ending, right? Yeah, I heard you hear a lot of stuff. I will say this new administration, this new organization is pretty good about leaked information. Okay, I think there are going to be certain situations where stuff is planted, okay, and that happens. But this feels a hell of a lot more Coughlin-esque than it certainly did Peterson and Bulky. I mean, guys were just walking in and out of the Miller Electric Center with you want to know this, you got it. You want to know this, you got it. I mean, it was just absolutely, this is different, and it's better. It's more professional, okay? But they had it yesterday. They had it 15 minutes before we had it. So somehow, somewhere, something's planted, or the agent came out for Travis Hunter, or one of his representatives came out and gave them the story. But it was the exact release. So I don't, whatever, okay? To me, it was still a shock. I don't know if it was a Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if it was to this football team. And by the way, they're used to it. They play year after year after year. They see guys go down week after week after week. To me, this was a sledgehammer to the forehead for Jaguars players. I don't know how it affected the locker room. And, they're going to say something, and they're pros, but we'll get a really good understanding. I think you will know if this team is in it for the long haul through 15 minutes of play on Sunday. You can't win a game in the first quarter, right? But you can lose it. I think we'll know. This team got 10 points in the first quarter. They forced 2 huge takeaways. They played complementary football in the first half, and then it went sideways in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying a players-only meeting. I'm not saying you flip over the buffet table, but to me, this is where coaches can only do so much. This week in this game is dependent on player leadership. Who in that locker room has the stones? Who in that locker room has the berries to take it upon themselves to get everyone else in that locker room to follow? It's an easy question to ask. I tell you what's hard is the answer. I'd like to hear from you on it. Give me the answer to that question. 641-1010 text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also join us tonight on YouTube, where they're celebrating Neil Young's birthday. You can go there, 1010XL, into the night.
1010XL brings you the orange and blue.
And he's loose.
The Gators march into Mississippi with a battle plan to tame the Rebels.
Broken tackle, still on his feet.
Florida, Ole Miss, Saturday at 7 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Gators!
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you how proud I am of my daughter Amber, who's lost so much weight on Awaken 180. But it's been a while now, so I wonder if it's something she can maintain. So I sort of asked her, how's it going?
So far, so good, Dad. But you're right, it has been a while. But that's the beauty of the Awaken 180 plan. There's so much variety in the food choices. You don't get bored.
You look great. Do you feel better?
I feel so much better. And I know it's because of the weight loss and how it's changed my lifestyle. So there's no chance I won't sustain it.
Well, what about over the holidays? Look, you grew up in our home, and you know we love the holidays.
Oh, I still plan on enjoying the holidays. I just plan on doing it by eating right. And I've already had the conversation with my coach. She understands the challenges of the holidays, and she's guided so many folks just like me through this. We've already made a plan.
So take my kid's word for it. Awaken 180 works. It's sustainable, even over the holidays. So change your life by calling 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 12, 1994, Prairie View loses 52-7 to Jackson State, breaking an NCAA Division I 2A record with 45 straight losses.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? It's the Black Friday sales event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. This offer expires November 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
To entangle the entire area.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Almost cut my hair. It happened just the other day.
Not a lot on tonight. Some hockey. I was asked earlier, did you watch that Florida State-Florida basketball game? I'm like, no. I watched the Bruins hockey game. That's more for my target audience. I may go back and watch it tonight. I just... Call me whatever you want, man. I could just see the writing on the wall. I knew it was going to happen. 0148 says, Ballou, fun fact, President Gerald Ford was a two-way player. Both a center, and he played Major League Baseball for Michigan, 32 through 34, including 2 undefeated national championship teams. He turned down the NFL to attend law school. Actually went to, I think it's the only one I've ever been to in my life. To hear Gerald Ford speak, I think it was at the Keene High School gymnasium in the mid-'70s when he was running for president. And I remember nothing about it.
So how old were you at the time?
5,
Okay,
something like
so
that. I mean, I was
still young.
Yeah.
You weren't even 10 yet. I was thinking you were probably 10.
Mm-mm. But I don't remember anything more about it than the fact that I went. So there you go. But yeah, there's been a lot of presidents who were great athletes. Bush, he was a baseball player at Yale.
Really?
Right?
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. And I think Donald Trump played every sport, or at least if you listened. And he's also set the record for the lowest golf score on like every course in the state of Florida.
Well, did you see the YouTube video like from a year ago where he played with Bryson DeChambeau? He outdrove him a couple of times. You're like, how? A PGA, or not the PGA, one of the best golfers, and best drives, Bryson DeChambeau outdrives him. You're like, that's insane.
Love to go back through history and come up with an 11 on offense and 11 on defense. Former presidents, United States of America. Abe Lincoln, to me, would be a great tight end.
Yeah.
Okay? Third and short, just feed him the ball. He's taller than everyone. Most presidents are pretty short.
Yeah, Obama's pretty tall.
Right?
What's Bill Clinton? He seems a little taller.
Clinton's he's got a headset on. He's checking out the cheerleaders. I mean, Clinton's not on either side of the football. But I have no idea. I've never looked at really heights and weights going back to George Washington. Seems like back then people were smaller in general anyway. Back in the 17 and 1800s. But anyway, just hey, maybe we'll have some fun. If there was such thing as the dog days. We would do that, but there are never dog days around here. We are always jam-packed. Okay, John Osher's coming up. We got a lot to cover here. It just kind of went through the offense, and today was I think a strong message about Trevor's going to make plays. And he's going to make mistakes. It's not to harbor those mistakes. You are a human, and you got to play through it, and you're going to have to make some plays as well. It's the defense that has really been a concern as of late, and only 6 sacks in the last 6 games. I saw that today when I was looking for some trends as far as odds on this game on Sunday. More than 230 dropbacks by Jaguars opposing quarterbacks the last 6 Sundays. 230. And you have 6 sacks. Just a complete disaster. And it's not all on the defensive line. There's a feeling as well that the DBs are playing too far off the ball and that they're allowing these intermediate routes. And a guy like Davis Mills will get rid of the football, just after 2 seconds. He's not settling back into the pocket, for 3 seconds and change. He's getting rid of the football. I think that's the recipe to beat Jacksonville right now. I mean, you look at these quarterbacks that they're getting ready to face. Outside of Herbert, it's not necessarily murderer's row. Bo Nix is up and down. You're going to have a backup in Arizona in Brissett. You're going to get a rookie in Cam Ward twice. You're getting Justin Fields. I mean, these are winnable games. And I know the record that Jacksonville has had as of late against backup quarterbacks. It just doesn't make any sense. It really does not. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. We're going to begin it with John Osher, and then we're getting straight to you. Text line tonight, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, if you want to ask a question or join us on YouTube, you can do the same thing. Just go to YouTube, 1010XL, into the night.
Get the weekend feeling all day Friday.
Best feeling in the world, isn't it?
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
You're going to love this.
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Football season is here, and our hometown team isn't the only one ready to stack up the wins. At Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, you score big every time you shop with us. Thousands of vehicles, no flags, no fumbles, just hassle-free car buying and big wins with lifetime warranties, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. Plus, our wow pricing lets you celebrate a touchdown of savings. Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi. We're here to wow you.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Huh? I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
It's Hot Takes on Hot Wheels. I'm Lauren Brooks. Let's cruise through the day's biggest sports stories from my unique point of view. Buckle up for Lauren's Lane. Driven by Mazda at the Avenues, 2 to 4 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Frank Frangie here for Lee & Kate's Glass. Now with the holidays coming, it's time to update that dated-looking bathroom setup and give yourself the gift of a gorgeous new frameless shower with big, sexy glass. You spend every morning and night in that bathroom. A new shower enclosure from Lee & Kate's Glass will look fantastic and make your bathroom feel like a luxurious spa. You'll love it. You deserve it. Request the free in-home consultation. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff Menard and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Hacker here, and I recently celebrated a birthday with friends and family, and a lot of photos were taken. And you go on Facebook and you look, and you have those memories of years past on the same day. And I saw pictures of myself from 2 years ago. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. That's back when I was over 300 pounds. I mean, I was in a bad spot in life with my weight. And now here we are, my birthday in 2025, down over 100 pounds, keeping the weight off. I look like a completely different human being. I can't tell you how many times I'm told that pretty much on a daily basis by people who haven't seen me in quite some time. Go to awaken180weightloss.com, awaken180weightloss.com. I'm living proof. If you want to drop the weight, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your answer. 844-346-1800.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
John Osher's a Neil Young fan. I know he likes things a little bit more progressive, but it's Neil's 80th birthday. We're celebrating it here.
Yeah, well, Neil was actually wasn't exactly my jam, but he was big. He was big in the grunge in the 90s. Very highly respected by the grunge artists, which grunge was a little bit after my time. I enjoyed Nirvana, Pearl Jam, but I wasn't really into the scene. But Neil Young, 55, 60 years of absolute legitimacy and outstanding. I'm not a big Neil Young fan, but I certainly appreciate Neil Young.
Two-time Hall of Famer with Buffalo Springfield with Stephen Stills, and then, of course, on his own with Crazy Horse. But I think he should get in and be a part of Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young so he could join Eric Clapton as the only three-time member of the Rock and Roll
it's hard to
Hall of
argue
Fame.
that it's hard to argue that he shouldn't be in with that.
Yep.
With that bunch, like he wrote the one unbelievable song about the Kent State shooting.
Oh yeah,
with him.
10
and
soldiers.
I think that was Crosby, Stills.
Ohio. The song's called Ohio.
Yeah.
10 soldiers and Nixon's
nothing
coming.
else gets you in with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. That one song should.
Yep. And he wrote that immediately and apparently called the band and they recorded it and it was out, in days. But anyway, you and I have seen a lot of crazy things in the NFL, including a few years ago here in the playoffs, the Jaguars coming from way behind to knock off the Los Angeles Chargers. But what we saw on Sunday, I'm still having trouble coming to grasp with this. Jacksonville was doing what I thought whatever they wanted. I went back and looked at the numbers, and they did struggle offensively. But just how blown away were you by that fourth quarter?
Not incredibly. I'm not trying to be the jaded sports writer guy, but once it hit 29-16 or 18, whatever it was, my thought was, here we go. I mean, meaning you thought that they had to get something out of that next drive, or else you started doing the math, and the math gave the Texans a way to get back in it. So I might have a different perspective because I covered the Colts for a long time. They did that 2 or 3 times while I covered them. So I've never had to cover a team that was on the opposite end of that. The Chargers game was the most thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was around for the Buccaneers, Colts on Monday Night Football back in the day, and they did it a couple times to Houston. So once you saw them get back in it, and you knew the Jaguars' offense was going to struggle against that defense, I can't say I predicted it, but I wasn't shell-shocked by it. And I think that message, Rick, is really what Liam Cohen needs to tell the team. comebacks sort of happen now like that. Maybe not to that degree, but that wasn't really historic league wide. It's easier to come back now. It happens. You have to guard against it, but that shouldn't really be like a black mark as long as they can come back and snap out of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's, that's the $1 million question right there. I mean, we've been told forever that fans are going to let things linger. All right. These professionals know how to turn the page, let it go, and then focus on their next opponent. How believable is that, in your opinion, coming up here Sunday against the team that's really playing some good football in the Chargers?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, I don't mean to be vague on that question, but immediately after the game, the way Liam Cohen was talking, you knew this is a big deal trying to snap out of it. And you were in the presser. He said, yeah, they're a little shell-shocked in there. Well, you got to get out of that. So to me, Rick, I don't think it's as important. Yes, you want to win. But what you don't want to have happen this week now is, you had a 1-point game against a Raiders team that's struggling. You lost to a Houston team that's not great offensively. You don't want to have this be a repeat of the Rams and then have real doubts start to seep in.
Mm-hmm.
If they play well, this is a good Chargers team. If you play well and you lose 28-24 and it's a good back and forth game or whatever, then I think you can say, okay, you're 5-5 and that's okay, and you can go on and beat some good teams and play toe-to-toe with teams. But if you have the Rams where you look like you don't belong, then that self-doubt you worry about until you see it go away.
John, talking with a lot of former players over the years, one thing they've been very consistent about is, whether you have a great coach or a poor coach, there are certain situations in the locker room where it becomes all about the players. And it doesn't matter what you do as a coach. There has to be leaders and there has to be players who gets in front of everyone else and sends the right message. This feels like this would be the time for this to happen here in Jasper. Do you believe there's a guy or two in that locker room that can take on that role?
Yeah, it can. I don't want to pretend that I know that it's happened or that it will happen. I think a guy like Brenton Strange can do that. Him coming back, I think, matters. I don't know if he's there yet, to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think being around him, he's the kind of guy, you got to be good. You have to be one of the better players. You can't have the backup, left tackle standing up on the table and yelling because then they're like, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it needs to happen. I don't know. I can't tell you I know who that'll be. Trayvon could do it. Trayvon has respect in the locker room, but is he that guy? I mean, is he that personality-wise to do that? I think it's a legitimate question. More importantly, those guys need to play well as opposed to speaking well.
Yeah.
It's still more important for those guys to step up. And I think the healthier Trayvon gets, the more Strange is on the field, the tougher this team becomes. I think they have lost that since those two guys have been injured. Or it's not as strong as it was when they were there.
John Osher, our guest, joining us here. Of course, he is the senior writer at Jaguars.com. Get everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. All right, the injury report just came out. Oh, my God, is it lengthy. Let's begin with the good news. Limited participation today for Brian Thomas. Limited participation today for Ezra Cleveland. The bad news is Anton Harrison didn't practice with a knee and an ankle, and Parker Washington did not practice with a hamstring. I know it's way too early to tell on a Wednesday, but this is, once again, a very beaten-up football team.
Yeah, and the Parker Washington thing, I don't have insight because I'm not his hamstring. Only he knows how he feels. But when you don't practice with a hamstring on Wednesday, there comes a time you have to test that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, as we all know, a hamstring is one of those where it's very smart and very common to say, we got to give it time. Because you don't, as much as you want Parker on Sunday, you also want him the rest of the season. So that's one to watch. I'd be lying if on anybody's hamstring I could tell you by an injury report how serious it was.
Mm-hmm.
But DNP hamstring, Rick, is always a story.
I was planning on asking you, because I talked about it last night, if in fact there would be a personnel change and that maybe it's Walker Little to the bench and it's Anton Harrison going right side to left side. But he's got 2 injuries here. He's got a knee and an ankle. What about the rookie? What about Wyatt Milam? I know it's hard to throw a guy in who hasn't taken a snap yet and ask him to be a starter, but could you see anything happening that is different this week on the offensive line?
I think if you see Wyatt Milam in the next few weeks, my instinct is it'll be more of a work it in, meaning play with somebody else also playing the position, working in for a few series at first, get him going. I think if you were to see a change at tackle, I think you might see Van Lanen in one of the spots with him figuring out, do you have Walker Little come back and be the swing tackle if Anton's healthy? Do you keep Anton on the right side and let Cole Van Lanen play left so you don't move 2 spots? Those, I think, would be more the discussions. They love Wyatt Milam, but Liam even talked about it today. They're waiting to see that knee. They're waiting to see him really sharp, really going. Didn't sound like that would be the play yet, although he's certainly a long-term factor for this line.
Yep, no doubt about it. All right, John Levis, I know you've talked a ton on it and you've written about it as well, but just, put your thoughts on the season-ending injury now to Travis Hunter.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it's I don't know that we don't know what they lost because we still hadn't seen exactly what it was going to look like the rest of the season, meaning how much offense, how much defense. I do know that before going into the Raiders game, that was the week after he got hurt, the plan was he was going to be a major part of it, both sides. They were going to see how that worked. Short term, I think you definitely lose the guy who can turn 1 or 2 third downs a game into first down. And I think you lose a cover corner big time. Long term, Rick, what you lose is I don't think you still know, based on what we've seen, what the best way to use him is. So I think that's still a discussion in the offseason. Is he better off, 80%, 40% one side of the ball? That's what's a shame is you lost 10 games of figuring out how the best package is for him.
Yep.
So I think now you've got to discuss it in the offseason and figure out how to figure it out with what could be a comparatively limited offseason based on the 6-month time frame.
There's no doubt. And everyone's going to have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy just how this story, develops during the off months. Make sure you read John Osher. Go to Jaguars.com. He is their senior writer. Daily updates, as always, from John and his staff. John, I'll see you at the Miller Electric Center. Thank you.
Rick, thanks, buddy.
There he goes, John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Okay, do I have a minute here? Oh, my God. Injury report is out. Ezra Cleveland limited with a knee and an ankle. I'll go offense only. Robert Hainsey limited with a groin. Anton Harrison did not practice with a knee and an ankle. Hunter Long did not practice with a hip and a knee. Patrick McCarray limited with a knee. Wyatt Milam limited with a knee. Brenton Strange, tight end, on the 21-day cycle now to come back and play. And, I would ask John about that, but he was limited today. I'm going to take this the same way I took the Devin Lloyd story a few weeks ago. If I had to guess, I would say it's next week in Nashville is when he does return. Again, I could be totally wrong and he plays this weekend. I hope that's the case. Brian Thomas, ankle, limited. Parker Washington, hamstring. did not participate. Forget about everything I said at the beginning part of the show. Can we just give these guys a trophy now and just not even play the game?
Yeah, that's geez. I mean, most of the injuries are on the offensive side.
Wow. I didn't even mention the defense. You got Jack Kaiser, linebacker, shoulder limited. You got Dennis Gardeck, chest limited. You got Jordan Lewis with the neck, did not participate. He did not play, as we know, a few days ago. Greg Newsome with a shoulder limited. And, Travis Hunter gone for the year. You also put, who am I forgetting here? The safety.
Murray.
Eric Murray is out for at least another game.
Parker Washington not practicing with a hamstring is not good.
No, it's not. And I talked to Parker Washington after the game in the locker. I had no indication that any of this actually did take place. So let me see here as we head to this break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players. 13 on your injury report. And Hunter gone for the year. And again, Murray on IR. Caleb Ransaw on IR. This team is absolutely blistered with injuries. LA's beaten up as well. LA has been beaten up. Remember, they're without their two really good tackles. Their all-world left tackle, Joe Alt, is gone. Rashawn Slater, their right tackle, is gone. But then again, we talked about that last week. A rookie left tackle in Houston and two guys on the right side who did not play, starters at right guard and right tackle, respectively. Yet they put together a patchwork offensive line in Houston, and it was good enough. So somehow they found a way. All right, let's get you involved with things on the other side. Let's do that. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can. 1010XL into the night, as well on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Get straight talk from D-Rock.
So let me get this straight.
Mike DiRocco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass. Guaranteed greatness since 1926 on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 12, 1994, Prairie View loses 52-7 to Jackson State, breaking an NCAA Division I 2A record with 45 straight losses.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sunny's here.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we celebrate birthday number 80 for the great Neil Young. Happy birthday, Neil. Thank you to the 8043. Sent me the all-time roster of United States presidents. Actually got one right. Abraham Lincoln is the tallest president, historically speaking, at 6'4", so we're going to put him at tight end. Lyndon B. Johnson, 6'3.5". We're going to put him at tight end. Ronald Reagan is 6'1", but he played the role of the Gipper, so we're going to put him at flanker. Here's where it gets really interesting. I thought George Washington was like 5'7". He was 6'1.5".
He must have been a giant,
right,
for his time.
I never knew that with George Washington. I never knew John F. Kennedy was 6'1".
He seems real short.
Yeah. I wonder if they, like in high school, when I was like 5'9", because I grew an inch when I went to college. When I was like 5'9", 140, they had me in the program at like 5'9", 165. I wonder if they lie about presidents, their heights and weights as well.
Possibly.
Here's what we're going to do, though. We're going to run a three-back set.
Okay. We're going to T formation.
James Madison is going to be our lead blocker in a three-back, scat-back set. He's 5'4". Benjamin Harrison is 5'6", and our leading ball carrier is going to be Martin Van Buren at 5'6". These guys can hide under the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I like John Adams too, 5'7.5". He'd be a good fullback type.
You know, I'm looking at this list. I thought I knew everything about former presidents of the United States. I swear to God, I've never heard anything that I can even remotely remember about Millard Fillmore. No idea. I mean, it's almost like you could have planted that in there. And, you know, if you would ask me to list and write down every single president of the United States of America, there's not a shot in the world I would have come up with Millard Fillmore. Anyway, some good stuff there. Having a little bit of fun on the presidents of the United States. Someone told me, and it all comes on the heels of being told earlier that Gerald Ford was a two-sport athlete at Michigan. I think I knew that at one point as well with Gerald Ford. All right, let's get to you on this. This injury, it's really disturbing. This is not good news. It really is not. This is a Jacksonville team that is just destroyed right now by injuries. 52-62, Rick, Mr. Wildcard, would you, the first season on a new show, if you missed the wildcard, would you, a failure? No. And what I just went through here, even though I don't believe in excuses, this team is really beaten up. Now, despite all the injuries, they should beat Tennessee twice in New York. So that gives you 8 wins. What's it going to take? I think it's going to be tough to win the division, even though you get Indy head-to-head twice. And then you got tough matchups like Denver and Arizona. How many more wins do you need if you get the 3 that you could classify as expected wins? I'm not ever going to say gimmies in this league because crazy things happen all the time. I mean, who would have thought that Miami would beat Buffalo last week? I mean, you see these things happen. And look at the Patriots. They've won 7 in a row. They lost to that Raiders team. So that's the NFL. Just look at this week's lines. You only have one double-digit line. That's tomorrow night between the Patriots and the Jets. Everything else is a touchdown or smaller. Most games are a field goal or smaller. So, no, this is a 4-13 team. Even with all of these injuries, I'm still looking at a minimum 8-9. 7-10 would surprise me. I predicted 10-7. I think right now, realistically, it's 8-9, 9-8. Again, we'll see how things go week to week. I didn't even get into LA's injury report. I really would rather hear, get back and take some of your questions than go through this injury report because you can just, Google it and you can get it. But, I'll tell you that the Chargers are really a beaten-up football team as well. So to answer your question, no, I would not consider it a failure if they don't make the playoffs. And for the record, I still think this football team has a real good chance of making the playoffs. 13-39, Blue. I think the best answer to Trevor is he's a leader of the team. I also think Hines Allen needs to have a huge game as well. Looking for leadership in the locker room from both of them. Those are 2 guys that you absolutely could point at. I mean, John Osher mentioned Trayvon Walker. I really don't see that in Trayvon with his personality. I just think he's a lead by example, lead by his play type of guy. Remember, you can be rah-rah all you want, but in this league, the only people who are going to get to others are really good players. Leadership is so it's such a huge part in high school football, in high school athletics, and collegiate athletics. I mean, you can be a rah-rah guy. You can be a well-liked guy. You can be an effort guy. You could be on a college team, and maybe your only role is special teams. Maybe you're the, back when the kick game really came into play, you were the wedge buster. You were the leader of the kickoff team. Okay? I mean, those days are... Anyway, you can be a big leader on Saturday football, and it's going to be accepted by your teammates. It doesn't work in the NFL. I mean, maybe Slater in New England, he kind of played that role. Daniel Thomas was good at special teams here. I think they've missed him this season, but still, those aren't the guys who stand up and talk to the other members of the football team. You have to be among the elite, the best players on the team. A leader, yes. In this case, the highest paid guys on the team. Where's Eric Armstead through all this? He's playing well. He's got 4.5 sacks. He's up there for defensive linemen, interior defensive linemen, when it comes to pressures. I mean, we were told that this city was getting the second coming of Calais Campbell. I didn't make that up. That was told. And I'm not blaming him. I'm just simply saying, where you at? Why aren't you a captain? Make no bones about it. Calais Campbell was a captain, right? Where's his leadership? This guy's been in the league longer than anyone on the team. I believe. I may be wrong there, and he's playing good football. He is playing well. Maybe this is an opportunity for Eric Armstead to stand up and say, follow my lead. I don't know. I'm just looking for names. And everyone on here it's either Trevor or it is, Josh Hines-Allen. And you look at these offensive push that Brian Thomas Jr. is not a team leader. Did you hear him talk today? You hear that? You hear any of his stuff today?
I didn't hear anything from him.
I mean, he's talking about the Parker Washington touchdown. He says why he's watching the game. He's playing video games.
Oh, yeah. Trent told me about that.
He's playing a video game.
Not surprising to me.
You don't say that. You don't say that. There are so many things that you just don't say. You say, oh, yeah, it was a great grab, and I'm so happy for it. And he did, but he's like, yeah, I was watching the game, but I was also playing a video game. And I jumped up off my seat. It's like, oh, my gosh, man. Are you kidding me? Really? So he's not it. Is it Brenton Strange?
Probably is.
Is it anyone on that offensive line? I mean, Hainsey was voted as the captain. I remember being really outspoken about that in a surprise type of way where, hey, Jordan Lewis became a captain. You saw that. If you went to practice during training camp, you saw how they gravitated towards Jordan Lewis, okay? The Hainsey thing kind of, I was like, wait a minute. Anton Harrison is back. Ezra Cleveland is back. Walker Little is back. You're telling me Patrick McCarry made all the money. You're trying to tell me a guy that was a backup in Tampa comes here, anchors the offensive line, and he's voted in as a captain this early?
Yeah, that was like anytime you mentioned his name, it was always this guy who was not good enough to play in Tampa is the backup, is now going to start for the Jags. And like just from that sentiment, it doesn't seem like he can be good. But he's been all right so far, I would say.
Yeah.
10 weeks through the year.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Lewis may be that guy. Although when he's met with us, he hasn't really been overly vocal, but that may be just to us. Some guys don't want it. Remember Jalen Ramsey saying, I don't want to be a leader? Remember him coming out and saying that? And he was criticized for it, but here's the deal. He was so good that when he did speak or when he was screaming, because I was a sideline reporter during those years, when he was screaming at people on the sideline, they'd listen to him. And, let me wrap it up by saying this. I look at this as a massive, intangible, as something that you can't teach. It's a big part of it. There's the other side where it's meaningless. And I'll give you the greatest example. That's Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell, what he said to guys, to many of them, it meant everything. And it registered. But it did not to Jalen Ramsey and to Colvin and to Telvin Smith and who was the knucklehead out of Tallahassee who went to Bama and came here as a safety, then went over to the Cleveland Browns. Was it Harrison?
And Rodney Harrison.
There you go. They looked at Calais as grandfatherly. It literally went in one ear and out the other. And I heard that from many, many people. Now, I don't know if they would ever admit to that publicly. Yeah, I mean, listen, when Puzz Lesney left, that totally changed Telvin Smith. But here I am. I just spent 5 minutes talking about how important it is and how you need a guy. Well, maybe not. Because when you were a dominant defense like they were, guys were doing basically what they wanted. Certain Yannick Ngakoue would be another guy who was a part of that. Yannick Ngakoue couldn't get along with anyone. He was always getting in some. I mean, he was just a constant problem. Anyway, so it is something to really think about. Leadership is huge. I mean, you listen to the components of building the team, and you listen to what James Gladstone says when he looks at you and he says, I want guys who love football. Okay? Does Brian Thomas Jr. sound like he loves football when he's playing a video game while the Jaguars are actually on? Does that sound to you like a guy who loves football? I'm just asking. Okay? I'm just asking. I'm not telling you he is or he isn't. I'm just asking. Okay? It's as simple as that. So maybe we make too big a deal about it. Or maybe we don't.
Catch high school football play-by-play on 1010XL.
Bishop Kenny's big season brings them a home playoff game against Wakula. Friday night at 7:30 on 92.5 FM. Bulls' quest for a 12th state championship begins against Walton. Friday at 7 on 1010 AM.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosser here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Business owners, are you tired of getting the runaround from your plumbing or AC vendors? Fire them now and call Duck Duck Rooter. Duck Duck Rooter is the trusted partner for some of the largest commercial companies in Northeast Florida. From a professional accounting office that makes contracts and invoicing seamless to highly skilled field technicians who fix the problems fast, they handle it all. Make the smart move today with Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner, but you can extend your swim season with Surfside Pools. This month, Surfside Pools is offering 10% off new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. Keep the good times rolling. No matter the season, upgrade your pool heating system now for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pool, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, it's been a rough week. The fourth quarter, just dumpster fire. The injury announcement yesterday for Travis Hunter, out for the year. And today's injury report is about as bad as anything that I can ever remember. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being truthful. Let's get to the offensive line. Ezra Cleveland, a knee and an ankle, limited today. Robert Hainsey, your starting center, a growing, limited today. Anton Harrison, your starting right tackle, a knee and an ankle, did not practice. Hunter Long, tight end, hip and a knee, did not practice. Patrick McCarry, starting right guard, a knee, limited. Wyatt Milam, the rookie, they're still waiting to plug him in, a knee, limited. Brenton Strange, brought back in on the 21-day window with his hip, limited. Will he be able to go this weekend? We will see. And two wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., an ankle, limited. Parker Washington, a hamstring, did not practice. Wow. And that's just the offense. Hate it for everyone involved. I really do. This is just scary to me. 0148, where they have Jacoby Myers and three healthy running backs. Then he goes on to say, no, Walker Little was the left tackle when the Jags beat the Chargers in January of 23. So maybe this is the return to greatness for Walker Little. We'll see if that is the deal coming up on Sunday. 70-14 Blue. What about a low account? Is he just a guy? No, his play is slipping. He's missed more tackles this year than he has. He's not great in coverage. Some situations I think have been unfair. Yeah, I said this since the start of the season when I was really under the belief that Devin Lloyd, there was no chance that he would return. Okay? That Ventrell Miller and Jack Kaiser would be your linebackers next year. I still think that's really, that could really happen. Okay? Now, I think they're going to try to bring back Devin Lloyd. I don't know that. I think they are. We'll see how he plays the rest of the way through. And Olokun is one of those guys where that contract is something they're really going to have to study. It's like if I had said to you last year at this time, Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk aren't going to be back, you probably would argue with me on it. But they're going to make some moves here. And this could be the end of the road for Olokun. Or he could be back in the same role. And that's why they're there. To figure all this stuff out. 47-51 Blue. Something is wrong mentally with Brian Thomas Jr. It's the only explanation. Hopefully not morphing into a C.J. Henderson. Oh, boy. I'll never forget when Urban Meyer brought C.J. Henderson out to ride the bike in front of everyone during practice. That was one of the most immature, incredible things that I've ever witnessed on an NFL practice field. We saw it with Henderson. He got drafted. Remember, he kind of turtled and...
Right when he got drafted, he didn't even show no emotion whatsoever.
That's a sad story. I think he's out. He went to Carolina. I think he's out of the league. Did he go to Atlanta?
Somewhere in
I think
the
he went
NFC
Carolina
South.
and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Boy,
I know he went
man.
to Houston last year. I think it was, and he got cut not long into the season.
I can't believe they missed on that. I mean, those warning signs were there. Gator fans knew about it. Gator media knew about it. That was really interesting to me. Boy, I hope there's nothing wrong with Brian Thomas Jr. I hope they can fix him. I'm a fan. Okay? I really like this guy. You go back 2 months ago before this season began, if I was ranking the Jaguars 1 through 53, Brian Thomas Jr. would have been number 1 on my list. 1 over everyone else. Been a really bad season. He's still got an opportunity to bounce back. But I think what's most frustrating for people right now is something is wrong. And we don't know the answer. People have ideas. People are trying to figure it out. I hope that they know. That's all you can hope for at this point, right? Edgar Bennett knows. Liam Cohen knows. Trevor Lawrence knows. Gladstone and Baselli knows. You hope they do. I'd love to say it's just a slump. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if all of a sudden this was like what Cam Little went through? Cam Little for 3 weeks or so there was something wrong. And again, are you not convinced that if he lined up, that if they didn't call that penalty on Chuma Edoga, that Cam Little was not going to make the game winner? Did you feel the same way, or were you a little bit hesitant because of the way his last month went?
I was not hesitant at all. I was feeling good that I was feeling about 75% that he's going to make the kick.
No. We saw a suicide last week in the NFL. The C.J. Henderson deal around here was awful. I remember talking briefly and hearing about DJ Chark, who had some issues. You look at the situation with Brian Thomas Jr., his former friend, and everything he went through after that incident with a vehicle. Mental health is brutal. And I'm not saying that is the issue with him, but there is constant speculation that something is going on. I do know this. The Jaguars have a lot of really good people down at the Miller Electric Center. And they have to be looking at this from each and every angle. Hey, it could be just simply he's dropping the ball and he's scared to get hit. And that's it. It's football only. It's not anything else. Okay? But I don't know the answer to that question. But I get it daily. And I bet every host on this station gets it daily. And everyone in the media here in Jacksonville gets asked these questions. What's going on? What's going on? I've always described him as kind of a low-key guy, almost unassuming. And, I don't know. But I still want to see it turn around for him. Hopefully it does. If right now I don't think you can really rely on him, right? What if he does turn things around? Only time will tell. All right, tomorrow night, 6 to 8, Friday, 4 to 6 on 1010 only, okay? Because of high school football, Friday, 4 to 6 on 1010.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. You see that new welcome offer? Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I think we got to jump on this.
What's John Daly think?
I think you got to grip it and rip it.
Grip it?
And rip it.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Boo here, looking for a brand new truck. Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH, Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here for Zero Res. It's Thanksgiving time, man. But listen, don't deal with the toughest gravy, cranberry sauce, or pumpkin pie disasters. Let the cleaning freaks do it. Get back to clean. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $149. A 4th room free with a canned food donation. Ideally, a full bag of cans, not just 1 or 2. Also, take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call my friend Zero Res right now, 28757, or go online at zeroresjacksonville.com and say you want the 1010 special. Zero Res, spelled backwards and forwards. It spells the same.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I've been telling you how proud I am of my daughter Amber, who's lost so much weight on Awaken 180. But it's been a while now, so I wonder if it's something she can maintain. So I sort of asked her, how's it going?
So far, so good, Dad. But you're right, it has been a while. But that's the beauty of the Awaken 180 plan. There's so much variety in the food choices. You don't get bored.
You look great. Do you feel better?
I feel so much better. And I know it's because of the weight loss and how it's changed my lifestyle. So there's no chance I won't sustain it.
Well, what about over the holidays? Look, you grew up in our home, and you know we love the holidays.
Oh, I still plan on enjoying the holidays. I just plan on doing it by eating right. And I've already had the conversation with my coach. She understands the challenges of the holidays, and she's guided so many folks just like me through this. We've already made a plan.
So take my kid's word for it. Awaken 180 works. It's sustainable, even over the holidays. So change your life by calling 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Hacker Nation, we were just talking about it. This injury report is a MASH unit.
Yeah, and it happened quick. I remember a couple of weeks ago, the Jaguars were relatively healthy, all things considering, and now you got 13 guys. But as you and I were talking off air, of the 13 guys on the report, I still would guesstimate 7 or 8 of those guys will probably play. A couple of guys will be upgraded tomorrow, and then by Friday, I still think you'll have 4 or 5 guys out. Who those guys will be, I don't know. But I would imagine 7 or 8 of the 13 will give it a go on Sunday.
The offensive line, they're all banged up. We'll see how they are. It would be good if they could get one of the 2 back, Brian Thomas Jr., Brenton Strange. Getting both would be enormous, but I think realistically, can you get one?
Yeah, especially with Parker Washington missing today's practice with a hamstring, and that kind of caught me off guard. You got to get either BTJ back or Brenton Strange if Parker misses the game. Again, early in the week, but those hamstrings are funny things, man. If it's bad on Wednesday, you don't know how much better it's going to get throughout the week.
What do you got coming up?
Yeah, I was in the Jaguar locker room earlier today. Got a lot of thoughts. I've been in the locker room every week this year. Different vibe maybe this week. I don't necessarily know if Sunday has gone away just yet. I know it hadn't gone away in the fan base. I'm not sure if it's gone away with the team, which is something I did not really like to see. And I'll give you my thoughts as to why I believe that to be the case. Had a conversation with Danny Strigow, the undrafted free agent, starting to make some plays out there. 92, starting to do some things. Really enjoyed that conversation. I also caught up one-on-one with Jarian Jones. We'll play you those conversations tonight, as well as Leon Searcy, who has a lot of critical thoughts about the Jaguar offensive line.
As he should.
As he should.
Yeah, no doubt. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
That is going to do it for us. Thank you to Dylan Denmark, our producer. John Oster joined us. Wasn't able to respond to you tonight on YouTube. We'll have to work that out as far as some tweaks before tomorrow's show. So I was limited as far as my participation tonight with you folks on YouTube. I was in full participation for the most part on the text line, although we got a ton of it, and that is always appreciated. Tomorrow night, 6 till 8, Friday, 4 to 6 on 1010 only. Tomorrow night we'll be with you on 92.5 FM, and as always, you can take it with you, 92.5 FM, the app.
There's nothing like the feeling of a college football Saturday.